Hey guys, it's Jen, and I know I just did a vlog yesterday, but I did have my OB appointment today, so I did decide to go ahead and update you kind of on that, and I'm going to show you some books that I recommend to people, because it's been asked before, you know, as a doula, what books do I recommend that people look at when they're pregnant and things like that. So I do have a few that I'm going to share. But anyway, my OB appointment was today. Originally, like I said, it had been scheduled with a nurse practitioner. It was originally scheduled with the OB, but then they had rescheduled it with her, and I called back and said, no, could I get a different appointment, please, with my doctor? And so I was able to get in, which was really odd how quick the turnaround on that was. So that was kind of cool. My original appointment was Thursday at 1:30, and they were able to get me in Friday at 10, so that was cool. Anyway, so I had my appointment, and I am measuring 40 weeks, and he actually wasn't rushed. So he took the time, you know, to really go in there and get the good measurements. And I mean, even with the Doppler, he took like 3 times as much time doing the heart rate and stuff like that. Whereas the nurse practitioner was like, oh, did you hear that? You know, I'm like, really, lady? Anyway, you know, don't give me any joy of hearing my baby's heartbeat or anything. It's fine. No, not that at this point, honestly, I know he's there and doing fine because I feel him moving constantly, like right now. Anyway, okay, so since yesterday, I went to the chiropractor, you know, and she told me that this baby's position was kind of like a somersault and not very good, which very well could still be the case, but I've been very aware of my posturing and my activities and things like that. So I've been trying really hard since that appointment, since about 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours now, but 24 hours between my chiropractor appointment and my OB appointment. And so I've been trying really hard to just try and get the posturing right and open my pelvis and do whatever I can, talking to the baby and stuff like that. And so I've been going up and down the stairs, doing a couple of inversion exercises. And if you've ever been to spinningbabies.com or I think it's birthingnaturally.net, I want to say. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not going to look it up this second. But they have several ideas for how to kind of get your baby in the right position. And the inversion technique, basically, I put my knees up on my bed, and then I stick my hands down right here on the ground. And it's sort of like doing like a handstand or whatever, but just inverting my body. And it kind of takes the baby's head kind of off of the cervix if it was applied in a weird position or whatever, but it gives the baby some wiggle room. And it really, like when you're inverted like that and you have your baby in there, you know, your little belly going on, it makes the heaviest part of their body kind of move around and shift, so their little butt kind of gets in a good position, and they try and move anterior and whatever. So I'm sure these little hand things are helping you guys tremendously to know what I'm talking about, because I'm so good at illustrating that with my hands, but whatever. Anyway, so I did some inversion stuff, going up and down the stairs, lots of pelvic rocking, lots of swaying, just opening my hips up and stuff, which, I've been doing some of these things anyway, but I just really want to make a concentrated effort every day from this point forward, knowing, you know, that I'm getting so close to my due date. So I just want to be really aware. And I'm not sitting in cushy chairs. I'm doing a lot of Taylor sitting. And when I sit on a chair, a lot of times I'll kind of lean forward and maybe open up my knees and kind of almost like squat into it, like really football stance. You know, I don't know. I'm not really that cool. Anyway, whatever. So at my appointment today, nothing was really said about the positioning or anything like that. Of course, I'm freaking out. You know, I'm like, oh, I hope everything's okay. And, so, of course, he kicked me a bunch up here, so I knew, you know, everything's all right, you know, head is down, we're good, and he's, you know, moving in the right positions and stuff. So, anyway, so at my appointment, I sort of told him, I said, yeah, I don't really know about her measurements and stuff that she did last week, because she seemed kind of rushed, and I was apparently measuring 41 weeks, and he goes, well, you have big babies. I said, yeah. And he goes, you know, and it could depend on how the baby's sitting. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I said, and last week she said that I wasn't dilated and had no progress. He goes, well, you know, and I said, but I don't know. Like I said, she seemed rushed, and I don't think I was in a really good position when she checked me, whatever. And he goes, okay, we'll just see. So he checked me. And initially he said, yeah, about a 2. And then he goes, well, no, you're a good 3. You're a 3. 3 centimeters, 70%. Yeah, maybe about a -3 for the baby's position. He's still pretty high up there, but, you know. And I was like, woohoo, I made progress. And I told him, you know, if I was going to be nothing again this week, that I'd probably cry myself home. But he, you know, he's pretty laid back about it, so he didn't make any promises, you know, like, well, I'll see you in a few days or anything like that. In fact, I told him, well, I'll see you Thursday, because that's when my next appointment is scheduled. And he goes, okay. And he said, you know, if you were a first-time mom, I would be thinking, wow, we've made some progress. I'm going to see you soon. But, you know, with you being a multip, you never know. And I said, okay, well, no big deal. I'm going to go for walks and just try and relax and do my thing, and we'll see what happens. But I fully expect to make it to my next appointment. I cannot imagine going before 39 weeks and 3 days. For me, that would just be very early. But we'll see. And, you know, with the baby still being at a -3, that's actually pretty normal for, like, subsequent pregnancies for your baby not to engage until labor. But I was kind of hoping he'd be a little bit lower, but that's all right. At least he can be felt. That's nice. So, yeah, we'll work on that. And, you know, if I do the going up and down the stairs and walking and stuff, he's going to come down more, and the swaying and whatever, keeping my pelvis open. So he'll get into his position. I'm not too worried about it. So my body's working, woohoo, and I'm excited about that. So that's that. But, you know, like I told him, knowing me, I could still go 2 weeks. We'll see. Okay, so I wanted to share some books. It's been asked actually several times, what books do I recommend to my doula clients, and what books did I personally find helpful during my pregnancies. The first one I'm recommending is, and I don't know if you can see that very well, The Thinking Woman's Guide to a Better Birth, and that's by Hensie Goer. Sorry, I think I'm about to have visitors in the room. Yes?
Yes, Daddy.
Daddy went to work.
Can I play a game?
No, Mommy's doing the video right now. This book is great. No. This book is great because it gives a lot of statistics and thoughts about how your body works versus maybe the medical system, or, you know, how your body works and how you can use your intuition. Okay, I'll hold you. How you can kind of use your intuition and just a general knowledge of the actual anatomy and physiology of a woman's body to help you during labor and delivery. Do you see yourself? You're doing crazy faces. Anyway, but it's a really good book. It's kind of empowering in comparison to things like What to Expect. I do not recommend What to Expect When You're Expecting. It is a big book of crap, really. And I don't recommend it. I think that it causes too much alarm in women because it says a lot of lofty statements that aren't entirely accurate, or maybe aren't accurate at all, or maybe they are accurate, but why are they telling millions of women when it might affect like 10 of the people that are reading it this year? You know what I mean? So, thank you. Are you sweet boy? Thank you. You're sweet. You smell like you're trying to poop. Why don't you go in the other room to do that? Mommy doesn't like smelling it. I'll change in a sec, okay? No? Okay. The next one, Active Birth. And this one is by Sheila Kitzinger. And, or actually, that's the foreword. It's by Janet Velasquez. Sorry. Here's her name up here. Oh, you can't even see that because I'm like crazy. Here we go. This book is awesome. I really got a lot of help out of this book. I did Bradley classes with my first pregnancy, and with the Bradley classes, it really alerted me to the fact that we have so much control over things just in our posture and our movement and our awareness and stuff like that. Because, you know, if you don't ask any questions, and your OB is not very natural friendly, or if your OB is very medical-minded and management-minded, he may not give you options or tell you that you have them. Obviously, you have them, but they don't always kind of let you in on that secret that, hey, it's your body. With this book, Active Birth, it talks about great ways and great positions and stuff for your labor and for your delivery. It gives you ideas for exercises. It has diagrams of different things. I don't want to show what's inside because I think it's copyrighted to where I can't. Like, I'm not exactly sure. Now, I will say, if you get this book, and I'm not sure if they have newer editions, but if you get this edition of this book, you're going to see a lot of, like, 1970s, 1980s pregnant people in striped leotards and naked people. Naked pregnant ladies. Not just random people. That would be weird. But anyway, it's really cool, and there are some great diagrams and stuff in here. A lot of the material in this is just amazing. I don't understand why there's not more information like this in books like What to Expect When You're Expecting, because the things that are listed in here as positioning ideas or like just different things that you can do, they're things that are practical for anybody, whether you have an epidural or not, whether you have a water birth or a regular birth, or if you have, I mean, it's great for anyone. I mean, I guess a C-section, you know, you're not going to have the same active birth experience, but I don't think most people go into it expecting a C-section, so you're going to have some build up to that, even if it's just the car ride there. There's some things, you know, that you could be doing during the different stages of labor, and it really kind of puts it out there. Okay, another book that I recommend is The Birth Book, and this one's by William and Martha Sears. And I recommend really any of their books that they've got out there. They have the vaccine book, the breastfeeding book, I forget what all books they have. I know they have one about, like, behavior and different things. Anyway, I totally recommend this book. Now, I don't recommend things from all of their Sears. They had, like, I think 8 kids or something. And so, you know, every kid has a different spin on things. Now, the parent Sears here, William and Martha, they have a really good grasp on the research and experiences and things like that. I really like this book because it gives a lot of good information. It talks about hospital birth. It talks about home birth. It talks about the history of birth. It gives you some ideas of what to expect at different times during your pregnancy, labor, delivery, afterwards, that kind of thing. It gives you some options. Gives you pros and cons on things. It tells you how different things affect the baby. It tells you how different positions can affect you and the baby. And it's just a really good, thorough book with a lot of well-researched ideas in it. So I always recommend that one. Another book that's really good, especially if you're doing like a Bradley method, or if your husband is going to be there, or if you have a friend who wants to kind of doula for you or something like that, or you are a doula. Another one is The Birth Partner. And I love The Birth Partner. It's by Penny Simkin. And I actually use a lot of her material. She has a website. I think it's transitiontoparenthood.com. And she has a website, and it has a site apart for parents and apart for childbirth educators. And I like to use some handouts that she has on the childbirth educators portion of the site. And it comes from the stuff that's in this book right here, but it kind of gives you like a cheat sheet of labor. And it says, you know, like what's happening physiologically during that stage of labor. What might you see the mom doing during that stage of labor? Like, what does it look like when, you know, mom is about 4 to 7 centimeters? What would that look like? Don't shoot me. And then it talks about what are some things that you can do as the partner. And it talks about what to do if things aren't working or if things need to change or whatever. And it's really cool. I actually really love this. I like to share this information with the dads. And it's a good thing, like if you're the pregnant mom and you're going to have someone there with you, you can read through this with them, or you can like bookmark just one part for them to read, or you can make copies of a couple of the different things. And it's just neat because it gives great ideas, something maybe you wouldn't have thought about. You know, reminding mom to get a sip of water, and, you know, some things that you might say when she says this, you might try saying this, or when she's feeling this way, you might try doing this. And it talks about massage and water birth and just all sorts of different stuff. Anyway, I love this book. It really is a really good book, and I love Penny Simkin's stuff. She just is great. And then I just kind of wanted to add this one in here. I read this again for the second time the other day. Well, I didn't read all of it, but it's called I'm Pregnant. And then, let's see, A Week by Week Guide by Leslie Reagan, MD. I guess that's Leslie on the cover. Anyway, she is a doctor, but a lot of the answers on here, like it's a week to week, but it's not like, week 6, this is what's happening. Week 23, here's what's happening. It's not doing that. It's more of like, between these weeks and these type things are changing. You might be feeling this way. Here's some information about this type test, or here's some research about this, whatever. And I kind of like this book and kind of don't. On one hand, I like it because it gives a pretty mainstream version of things, but it also has a sort of a twist on it because it does talk about some other options that, a normal run-of-the-mill OB might not mention. And it does talk about midwives a little bit and, that kind of thing. So it throws kind of that in there. So if you have a mainstream book, these other ones, if you are not interested in a natural birth, you might want to shy away from these, although the information in here is amazing. So even if you're planning a highly medicalized birth, it gives great information, and it will give you peace of mind because knowledge is power and all that type of stuff. The ignorance is bliss thing is fine until you get cornered into a situation where you don't really know if you have rights or choices. So for me, the knowledge is power thing kind of wins, and I love to read as much as I can about that type of stuff. So anyway, I appreciate that. And this one also, I think, goes into like postpartum. It sort of talks about a little bit about breastfeeding and stuff. A little bit. So those are the books that I recommend, and that is the update on my appointment. And sorry it's so loud. I mean, I have this 2-year-old warrior back here, and he's attacking cars and doing things like that. So he's a pretty tough guy. Anyway, so I will probably vlog again soon. I'm not really sure when my next one will be. I might try and vlog a few more times during the week before my next appointment, just to kind of get some other information out there. Because I'm just trying to kill time right now, waiting until the baby shows up. So I may vlog about a few other things about, why I became a doula and what I like about being a doula, or go into more depth about my birth experiences in the past, or I don't know. I don't know what you people want from me. No. If you do have any specific questions or whatever, though, I really would like it if you post them either on my Facebook wall, which is facebook.com/JennsRack, which is JENNSRAQ, or you can post it on the comments of this post right here. So either way, if you've got questions you want me to answer in my next vlog or two, go for it. I would love to hear it. And hopefully I will be touching base with you soon. All right, you guys have a good Friday. I know I'm hilarious because it is Good Friday, and I wish you one. But anyway, no, I hope you have a great weekend, and everybody enjoy yourselves, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.